Welcome to the Real HD Show, the higher discussion. This is the show where you're going to see on these and many other airwaves, where we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and we celebrate it with freedom music. Freedom music happens from 7:30 to 8 p.m. on these airwaves. You can come on, put a battery in your back with that good hip hop, soul, jazz, soca, R&B, reggae, all those styles that you like, all that music that you cannot fight. It's a summertime delight right here on the Real HD Show. So join us at that point. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and turn on all your notifications. Comment and tell a friend. So whenever we have a Real HD Show, you too can jump in and have a higher discussion with us. Uh, that higher discussion begins with you on those airwaves right there, tapping in, um, registering with the frequency that we're doing, vibrating higher, right? And you can actually, to join us, you can put this in your particular URL above, and then you can join us backstage live. That's right. You could join us backstage live as we do what we do and how we bring it to you right here on the Real HD Show. The code for tonight is StreamYard.com, NBQDQ 5K 4NX. That's right. NBQDQ 5K 4NX. So everybody out there looking, everybody that's in the neighboring community, please join us. The water's fine. We get deep enough to swimming. This is prime time with a purpose. Don't get nervous. We're going below the epidermis. That means we're going to get deep. That means we're going to talk about some things that you may want to hear, and some things you may not want to hear. We may burst some bubbles. We may get into a little bit of trouble, but it's all about that awareness so we can move fearless out here in 2025. So, welcome. My name is Vic. I'm your host, and we are here for this tonight. Why this need attention? New USA white only suburbs. Why does that need attention? We're also here for your 3D Digital Strawman. What is that about? And we are also here for a trailer for the Black Chameleon Street movie. We're going to talk about the T app and what that means for folks. We're going to talk about the reality show of Blk Witches. That is a thing. And we're going to talk about how the name of our melanated folks in the country is being changed. Do we like it? Don't we like it? Whatever it amounts to, it's on you. So join us. The call button is below. You see it. You see the numbers right there and the letters. Put that right up top in your URL. Spell it out, copy, paste, whatever you got to do to come through. You come through, and then it's on you. You join the conversation. You leave here better than when you came in. And we leave the world better than how we inherited it. That's right. That's what we do on the Real HD Show. We need you. The show isn't anything without you. So if you feel a little queasy about coming on up, you can always use an avatar. That means you can put a picture in place of your face and just have your audio there. They just like you see them on Facebook with the A or the B or the Q or the Y or the W, whatever your name is, whatever kind of picture you want to put up there, you can do it. And you can stay anonymous or not. If you don't like the way your place looks or how you look, you can always get on here, express yourself with those avatars, and we can have a higher discussion. Total package energy. Waters, gels, zips, teas, all those things to put a battery in your back and get you through the day. Because some of us have a second half to our day. Some of us are coaches, teachers. Some of us have a Real HD show. Some of us have all kinds of stuff going on that we need that extra bit of for, that extra little bit of get up and go. All natural product, melanated company, Olympic tested, people approved. Go mob, total package energy. Tell them the Real HD show sent you. Have a ball. All right. Also, redeem vacations. If you Bring 5 or more people to any of the Real HD show, and we have 6 with 4 in production. You will win a certificate to a restaurant, a hotel stay, or for a 3-night, 4-day vacation near you, courtesy of the Real HD show and Redeem Vacations. Also, that's footwear straight from the NOLA Revolutionary Soul Technology. Catch them at an Amazon store near you. And welcome. That's right, welcome to the higher discussion. This is meant for melanated folks. We invite all folks, whether you allies or enemies or frenemies or whatever you want to detail and call yourself. Um, we allow all of us to come on here, build, share our thoughts and concerns on what's going on with our folks and melanated people across the world and the destiny of our people. We're an Afrocentric show. We are a social justice show. And if you like what we do and you like our get down, you've seen our show before, please do this. Cash App. Yeah, man. Cash App, $ the Real HD show. Our mini flex is $25. Our max flex used to be $50. It is now $100. We will appreciate all that can contribute. That's right. We will appreciate all that contribute to the show. And the real way that you can contribute is to popping up. Use these call letters, pop up. Let's hear your voice. It's your voice, your victory, right here on the Real HD show. It's a summertime show. It's you know what I'm saying? Understanding that on cipher, you know what I mean? Or being born on understanding. Make understanding understood, right? So you're standing under the culture, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and liberation of our people. You know what I mean? We stand on the shoulders of giants, but we should stay on code that way. All right, man. So we're here for this once more. New USA white only suburbs. I think that's a very powerful topic for many, many reasons. We're in the 21st century. Home ownership is the quickest way to uh, long term wealth, generational wealth. And if there are new white only suburbs, we're not talking about the Levitt towns that have been put up all over the East Coast, but we're talking about new ones all over the country. And we'll get into that. We will get into those places and spaces and what it means in a minute on the Real HD show. So make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. We back with adrenaline. It's the higher discussion, the Real HD show. You might hear a bunch of people with the real, the real, the real. We're the real because we are talking about that awareness so we can move fearless, prime time with a purpose. And we are talking about things that we can actually change and actually make part of our progressive lives. So y'all jump on in. We're getting deep enough swimming. Let's go. So as usual, we get right into our elders and ancestors blueprint. And tonight's one is a good one. If you didn't see it, I hope you see it now. I hope you can put this on your phone and I hope it registers with you. I'm going to change the call letters into a ticker. So anybody that does not have the call letters, please be patient. Let the ticker come around and show you what it is that we do. The Cash App is right there, the $ the Real HD show. Please help a brother out. Give me that HBO special. You know what I'm saying? Help a brother out. Wifey's birthday is on Sunday. That's right, glows forever. And we want to do something special for her. So please hit me up on the Cash App. If you like what we do, you like our get down, and you like how we come through, hit a brother up. We are here for you. Okay, so we usually get into our elders and ancestors blueprint first on the show, and I fully intend on doing just that. And let's go ahead and get into it. It's a video. I'm trying to get to my music. Give me 1 second. Okay. I need to be able to scroll through this. All right. So while I can get to my intros, I'm going to show you guys a video. Um, we are in an elders and ancestors blueprint moment. Um, and it's a video about trying to think, which one do I want to show you guys? Yep. Okay, let's do that one. It's a video about the Blue Vein Society and the paper bag test. That's right, the paper bag test. Now, some people call it colorism, but back in the day, we used to call it the paper bag test. And a lot of people blame colorism on, proximity. You got somebody light skinned in your family or extended family or relatives or friend circle or networking circle. And some people feel that the accoutrement, the benefits, and the, you know, extras go to a lot more people who are light skinned, and light skinned people get the, preferential treatment by the dominant society, and so on and so forth. But we really don't know where that came from. And it doesn't really matter where you're from. You could be from London, you could be from Africa, you could be from the Caribbean, you could be from the United States, you could be from all over the diaspora. People feel the effect of colorism and the paper bag test. It exists today in different names and different flows and flavors, but it's a problem that we need to solve if we're going to move on and be more progressive as a people. So let's check out where some of this comes from in the Blue Vein Society Real HD show, Elders and Ancestors Blueprint. Here we go.
Black History Facts. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Colorism, the Blue Vein Society, and the paper bag test.
Damn.
Colorism in the United States was introduced in the 18th century. Enslavers differentiated between domestic servants who worked closer to white people as more desirable than the people who worked in the fields and were furthest away from the house. They were often more partial to light-skinned enslaved people because they often were family members. Enslavers frequently forced enslaved women into sex, and the light-skinned children of enslaved people were the telltale signs of these sexual assaults. While enslavers didn't officially recognize their mixed-race children, they gave them privileges that were denied to dark-skinned enslaved people. Accordingly, light skin came to be viewed as an asset in the community of enslaved people. Their hierarchy was white, light, dark, and then animal. After emancipation in 1865, colorism increased. White communities tried to keep black people, both light and dark, away from them, and light people tried to keep dark people away from them. In the 19th century, the Blue Vein Society came into existence. The Blue Vein Society refers to the historical phenomena among some African Americans in which the lighter-skinned individuals occupied positions of privilege, while darker-skinned blacks ranked lower on the social scale. There was more than one Blue Vein Society, and each excluded anyone whose skin was too dark to see the blue of their veins through it. It was a type of organization that aimed to identify who was white enough. Mulattoes and quadroons established many exclusive Blue Vein social clubs or societies. They were formed by upwardly mobile African Americans whose skin was light enough to allow them to pass as white. The Blue Vein test was one of several that some light-skinned African Americans used to distance themselves from those who were darker. The paper bag test was another test in which one's skin color was compared to a paper bag. Only those who were the same color as the bag or lighter could gain membership into whatever group they were trying to join. Why use the bag as a gauge? Because the paper bag color was believed to be midway between white and black hues. The brown paper bag test was used by African American fraternities, sororities, churches, and social clubs throughout the 20th century. Exclusion of any type is ugly, but there seems to be something especially hypocritical about African American churches not allowing dark-skinned African Americans as members. This was the same discrimination used by white churches that forbade African Americans of all hues from attendance. Colorism didn't disappear after the institution of slavery ended in the U.S. In Black America, those with light skin received employment opportunities off limit to darker skinned Black Americans. This is why upper class families in Black society were largely light skinned. Soon, light skin and privilege were linked in the Black community. Upper crust Black Americans routinely administered the brown paper bag test to determine if fellow Black people were light enough to be included in social circles. A light complexion was once an admission qualification for college enrollment. It is probably no coincidence that light-skinned Blacks emerged as leaders in the Black community. To white power brokers, they were less threatening. In America, these variations in complexions produced an unspoken hierarchy. Black people with lighter complexions ended up being granted some of the rights of the master class. To obtain a fairer complexion, many applied bleaching creams. Bleaching and skin lightening creams were a large part of the Black cosmetics industry. Some of these creams can be dangerous, containing harsh and cancer-causing ingredients. Although some elements of colorism still linger today, most African Americans, especially African American women, embrace their skin tones, whatever they may be.
All right, so you heard it. You heard it. The Blue Vein Society. In the 1800s, caused by the miscegenation, rape, or admixture of white and Black people in antebellum societies, who wind up either through rape or through consensual sex having children, and then those people being able to pass, and then because those people were so plentiful, they had such a a treacherous time throughout society, because they didn't fit in either world. They didn't fit in the world of the antebellum shackle, and they didn't fit into the world of the antebellum macro elites, right? And we know who those two groups are. And they had children that can pass. Now, everybody probably, sorry about that, that's a motorcycle if you hear that. Now that that's gone, we can continue. So we all have those people in our family. I had many aunts that way. My grandmother was that way. She had Irish in her family. So we got the Cro-Magnon situation popping. And probably a lot of us do. You know what I'm saying? The Cro-Magnon genes is in there. You know what I mean? Neanderthal, as they call it. And one thing I wanted to ask everybody is, and this is a really existential question. Does anybody out there believe that we're having a diaspora wars and we're backbiting on one another because this blue vein society, or colorism as it's recently called, has permeated the world? It's traveled to all corners of the world. And do you think that, without saying it, many people who are from other nations other than the United States, who are dark skinned, melanated, have a little bit of resentment against Americans who have become successful, Black Americans melanated Americans who have become successful, and they have a lighter hue to them? Your Beyoncés of the world, your Colin Powells of the world, so on and so forth. And even though they have direct, ancestry to the, lineage to the continent, um, because of where they're from and their genealogy, they associate Black Americans, especially the lighter skinned ones, with being more successful, able to blend in, able to be a mestizo type, able to be a octoroon, quadroon, a mulatto, and getting privilege or preferred privilege. Put it in the chat. Let us know where you at on that whole thing. You know what I mean? Now, what's powerful about the whole blue vein society is not only was it in London, it was in the United States, and it traveled all the way to the start of the Divine Nine. A lot of your Black fraternities and sororities used the blue vein paper bag idiom concept as proof that proof of value. Light skin was more valuable than dark skin. We know that throughout our history, it doesn't really matter if you're a light skin or a dark skin, melanated person. You can get busy on whatever topic or whatever you're passionate about. You can add value to our people by just being who you are and standing on what you stand on. Malcolm X was light skinned. Martin Luther King was dark skinned. Go figure. You know what I'm saying? So right there, that just goes to show you, Harriet Tubman was light skinned, and Jackie Joyner Kersee. Or am I thinking about the other one? Jackie Joyner Kersee. So to put it bluntly, there's been many. Huey P. Newton, he was light skinned. So it does, we've had greatness in all shades. It doesn't matter what your shade is. It matters what your passion is, what your principle is. Do you have the discipline to see it through, and can you be an ultimate benefit to our society? And that was our AAT report right here on The Real HD Show. I'm sorry, our Elders and Ancestors Blueprint right here on The Real HD Show. Sorry about that. We were in the middle of an Elders and Ancestors Blueprint. So that's what that was. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Turn on all your notifications and share the show with as many people as you can. If you think something like what I just showed pertains to you, please come through and let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Also, with the Blue Vein Society, that's powerful, is it's featuring this very thing in a movie that's a series out right now called George Washington Black. And hopefully, you guys get to check that out. It has an all-star cast. You're really gonna like it. I think Black Caesar is in the movie. All these, I think it's like a docudrama, a historical timepiece, and set in a historical backdrop and of antebellum slavery on Barbados. And it features some really powerful performances, and it tells the story of how what Barbados had to do with the transatlantic slave trade and the genius that came out of Barbados. So remember, and also, I believe it was the Bahamians that founded Florida. So we're all now getting more of a, the melanated people of the Bahamians founded Florida, and Miami, Florida, as a township. And it became this super metropolis at this point. But we owe the founding of Miami to the Bahamians. So big up to them. Big up to all those melanated people. Love on y'all. And that was our Elders and Ancestors Blueprint. Hey, man, y'all sit tight, right? I have to check something and restart this joint real quick. Y'all stay on. I'm going to let the clock still run. I'm going to be back in like 30 seconds to a minute, and we will get busy on the next part of the Real HD Show. Stay tuned. All right. So, as promised, we're back. That was a couple of seconds. Hope you didn't miss me too much. If you do, throw a kiss or donate some cash, you know what I'm saying, to the Real HD Show. And I have that particular opening for you for the Elders and Ancestors Blueprint. It's worth it. Check it out. All right, man, you can't stop the reign of the ancestors. That's right. You heard it. You can't stop the rain. That's why we're here. Let's get into our AAT report. Here we go. Welcome to the AAT report, Aero Aqua Terra. Everything under the sea, air, and on the land that will make you healthy, we are going to cover because we need cell power. We've been missing cell power ever since the pandemic, and we need to get it back. So I'm going to show you guys a vid real quick, and we will talk about it on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second for all of this to come on up. And it's by Dunkin' Donuts, by the way. So it's interesting. Everybody wants to run to Dunkin' and grab a 36 pack of this or a quick ice that or whatever, a quick cool out of this or that. And we don't know what we're putting in our bodies. So even if you do decide after you watch this video to put this in your body, at least you are armed with the information. Here we go. Healthy, wealthier, and wiser for a brand new you AAT report. Here we go.
Dunkin' Donuts you never knew. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1. The Boston cream donut filling is made with high fructose corn syrup and contains 0 actual cream or dairy products. Number 2. Dunkin' Donuts coffee beans are roasted with artificial flavoring chemicals that are also used in cleaning products and industrial solvents. Number 3. The pink frosting on Dunkin' Donuts gets its color from red dye 40, which is banned in several countries due to potential health concerns. Number 4. Dunkin' Donuts doesn't actually make their donuts fresh in store. They're shipped frozen from a central factory and reheated in each location. Number 5. A Dunkin' large iced coffee with cream and sugar contains more calories than a McDonald's Big Mac, packing over 600 calories in a single drink. Number 6. Dunkin' Donuts uses the same dough recipe for almost all their donuts, just changing the shape and toppings to create the illusion of variety. Number 7. Dunkin' workers are required to throw away all unsold donuts at the end of each day rather than donate them, with stores discarding thousands of donuts weekly. Number 8. Dunkin' Donuts changed their name from Dunkin' Donuts to just Dunkin' because they wanted people to focus on their overpriced coffee instead of their cheap donuts.
All right, man, we back talking about Dunkin' Donuts, the benefits or the fatalities. And I see a whole lot of fatalities, man. You know, we're a community that's dealing with that sugar. Everybody got that sugar. Grandma got that sugar. Grandpa got that sugar. Auntie T got that sugar. Unc got that sugar. You know what I mean? And if we ain't careful, we gonna get that sugar too. Mess around with mess around with that Dunkin'. You know, there's an old saying: anything in moderation is a blessing. So, and those sorts of Dunkin' Donut pieces should be done and consumed in moderation. If you're doing those sorts of things every day, you know what I'm saying? Then you're probably not optimizing your health. And then, of course, all those wheat products laden with sugar breaks down in your body as sugar. Sugar turns to fat. Fat becomes indigestible. That sugar comes indigestible at a certain point by the internal organs, the liver, the pancreas, and the kidneys. And then you start developing diabetes. You know what I mean? Because your insulin levels are spiking. You know what I mean? So if we can avoid that, we will be ahead of the game. So just wanted to show you that in our AAT report, Healthy, Worthier, and Wiser for a brand new you. Also, what we want to talk about here is we want to talk about a new thing going around in Harlem, New York. That's right. AAT report is Harlem based tonight. And we're talking about the Harlem Legionnaires disease that's going around in the water of, people in Harlem and affecting people out in Harlem and New York City. So all my loves, all my beloved folks that are out in New York City, we're going to get into what this Legionnaire's disease means. And I'll read this article just a bit, just so that you can be armed, so you can have that awareness, so you can move fearless. So Harlem Legionnaire's disease cluster now includes 8 cases and counting, and New York City health officials are reporting. The disease in Harlem now includes 8 known cases from the upfront 3 official reports as of last Friday. No deaths has been linked to the outbreak, But the city health department is urging New Yorkers, particularly those who live in the area, to stay vigilant for the flu-like symptoms. Sounds interesting, right? Because didn't COVID-19 have flu-like symptoms? Let's continue. Legionnaire's disease is a severe form of pneumonia that can develop when someone inhales water vapor contaminated with Legionella bacteria. Officials say that the cases reported in the zip codes of 10027, 10030, 10035, and 10037. The health department is inspecting the cooling towers in the neighborhood and sending in for water testing. Community outbreaks like the one that we are investigating currently are often related to Legionella bacteria growing in cooling towers. Those are the big metal boxes on top of buildings that are used to do central air conditioning for large buildings. When the weather conditions are very hot and humid, that can help bacteria to grow very rapidly, almost like mold, right? The particular window ACs aren't associated with Legionella. Quinn said, quote, "I just want to make sure that people are still drinking water and using their air conditioning while it's so hot this week." I would imagine they're talking about last week along with this one. Symptoms of Legionnaire's disease typically appear to 2 to 14 days after exposure and include fever, cough, muscle aches, shortness of breath, nausea, confusion, diarrhea, including the Centers for Disease Control Prevention, right? CDC. The illness can be treated with effective antibiotics if caught quickly, and most healthy people exposed to the bacteria don't get sick. New York City had another major outbreak of Legionnaire's disease in the water in 2015, when at least a dozen people died and 100 more people became sick. The health department says that the city often has somewhere between 200 and 700 cases of Legionnaire's disease a year, but the most cases are sporadic. We do pretty much constant monitoring. Officials are advised anyone affected in those zip codes experiencing possible symptoms to seek medical attention promptly. All right, so that's that. Legionnaire's disease in the water. So be vigilant, man. You know, sometimes we'll pass those air conditioners, those big ones, right? That are running on the rooftops or like down at the side of the homes, or, you know, plastered on the side of the buildings. And then often you'll see the coolant dripping, and you'll see like a blue line dripping and drizzling from the cooling vents of the, fans. And we got to be careful that those things aren't getting in the water supply. So if you see it running into a visible stream that's on the ground, you need to contact your landlord. You need to contact whatever maintenance is involved with whatever building or home or what have you, especially if you live in a HOA, which we'll talk about in a little while, and make sure that they do their diligence and repair those things so that the entire community doesn't get affected, like the residents of Harlem. Please get to Harlem Hospital, get to your clinics, get to your aftercare spots if you are experiencing any flu-like symptoms, pneumonia-like symptoms. Don't think it's COVID. Think because it may just be Legionnaire or Legionella, as they call it, symptoms that must be addressed right away. All right, man. So that was our AAT report. I'm sorry. I put the AAT up. I put the elders and ancestors up. That was our AAT report, our healthy, wealthier, and wiser for a brand new you. We did our elders and ancestors blueprint a little while before that, so that we can get through our, we can get through our segments as quickly as possible and get to the main thing, make the main thing the main thing. So we are going to get into our Lit City report real quick. Let's do it. Yeah, so we are in the middle of a lit city report, the wild, the wacky, the wonderful things that make our world go round because we need levity. We bring you all these heavy topics on a real HD show that can, weigh you down and put your spirit in a different type of vibration. But we have some great news for you. And the great news we do the Lit City Report for. You know what I'm saying? So we featured earlier the Blue Vein Society and that, in that 3-minute video that I showed you, and it showed you the history of colorism and how, light skin and black skin, light skin and brown skin melanated people particularly have that divide. And I asked the existential question if people in the diaspora may or may not feel some type of way because many, many light skinned melanated people have been successes in the Americas, and they have to deal with light skinned people where they're from being the preferred class. So, by virtue of those things, a little hateration going on. I don't know. If you have any relativity to that, please jump in. The water's fine. Hit us up on the stage, or you could put it in a comment. We're blasting off the 5 Facebook channels, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, D Live, Trovo Nation. We're everywhere you want to be. We are the Real HD Show. So let's get right into why the AAT report is special this week. And let's get into what this has to do with the Blue Vein Society. And I'm going to jump right into it. And it's about a show that's on Hulu. It's called George Washington Black. And I'm going to show you the trailer for it so that you too can be aware of what's going on. It's an excellent series. It shows the founding of melanated people and how melanated people helped found and pioneer the area of Nova Scotia. That's right, in Canada. Yeah, man, Halifax, right? So we're showing how all of those things became what they became. Africville, Little Africa, all of those areas in Canada, how all those things came to be. Joined by an all-star cast and a brilliant main character named George Washington Black, young brother who is featured from the Barbados and the antebellum slave days and what he goes through. So let's just show the clip real quick, and we'll be back on the other side to chop it up. Real HD Show.
Halifax. Last stop on the Underground Railroad. Everybody step off with their own story. Boy, do I got one for you. A story about a young man and the boy he used to be.
Tell me your name.
George Washington Black.
How did you do that? He's a clever one, isn't he? You're going to be working with me from here on out. We must leave. Do you understand? It is time to fly.
Big fella come in on the ferry looking for a black man. George Washington Black.
We're both dreamers. Can't we dream up a different world? I've been passing as a white woman.
Your marriage to McGee is vital to our survival.
That young woman would burn down the world to find you.
Death can't frighten us.
He ain't gonna leave till the job is done. You are the job.
Surrender to no one.
All right, that was George Washington Black, and I watched 2 episodes of that joint. It's a situation. It's a whole situation. Make sure you watch it. It has so much history in it. As a matter of fact, last week on the show, we were talking about Captain John Jackson Henry and how he would take people, Harris Henry, and how he would take people from the tip of New York and the tip of the United States And the last stop on the Underground Railroad was Canada. And he took people way up into Halifax, way up into Nova Scotia, and back down and across. And he hosted Harriet Tubman and a litany of others as people pursued their liberation. Um, and I think that those things are super important to connect the dots on. So first of all, there's no history. Like, I've been teaching history for over 2 decades, and I've never seen Captain John Jackson Henry Harris on a history exam. And I never seen George Washington Black, either fictional or real, on any history course. And there are people who have founded melanated civilizations, melanated towns, municipalities in Canada as the last stop on the Underground Railroad, and hosted many, many folks seeking liberation and freedom. And that's our legacy. So it's up to us to go patronize those things so that they can make more. Just like they made the Bass Reeves show, the Bass Reeves series. They're making this one. Sterling K. Brown is in it, and a host of others. And how it aligns with the Blue Vein Society is the young lady who very much looks like the young lady from Game of Thrones, who played the Mother of Dragons. She's playing a biracial woman who can pass for white. And like I said before, we've all had them in our communities and our families. And, not such a good time because you're not accepted by either community. And it could be a lot of confusion and transgressions in those situations. A lot of ineptitude and things that are dysfunctional. So watch the show. And I believe the 2 main characters, which is G.W. Black and her character, they have a love story. And then, of course, her story lends itself to the fact that, they couldn't import any more bodies from the continent. In 1808, 1809, they outlawed that. And in doing so, they had to breed. They had to breed those bodies that they wanted for extra labor and resources. And a lot of those bodies became interracial kids, mestizos, mulattoes, octoroons, quadroons, right? So this is one of them that came from London. And she was born of, I guess, elite stock. But the white father's mission is to get her married. Her mission is to seek her purpose. She seeks her purpose and refuge through George Washington Black. And away they go. Go check out the series. It's real dope. And it's really, really hot to watch. Real eye-opener about a lot of things that aren't really included in your average history books and in your average comings and goings. So go check that out, George Washington Black. He's a engineering and scientific genius, much like your Benjamin Bannekers and your Eli Whitneys and your Granville Woods and your real McCoys. He's a engineering genius for his time, and he puts together a flying machine. And that's so interesting because before the Wright brothers flew their vehicle, right, at the World's Fair, there was a brother who invented a machine that could fly in the air. And we did an expose on him on the show as well. And he did it at least 5 to 10 years before the Wright brothers, looking to seek a funding and win a prize on behalf of his scientific invention, but did not have the same publishing and exposure that the Wright brothers happened to aggregate. So in those ways, they got credit for the first flying machine, when there were many, many others before them, even going back to Kemet, who had the aeronautic capability to put a vehicle in the air and have it fly over a distance. So go check that out. George Washington Black, really dope story. I am going to get back with you on the historical significance of George Washington Black. I told you a little bit, but I don't know if that's a docudrama based on a real person named George Washington Black, if it's fictitious. I'm going to look it up and I'll come back with you with that evidentiary information. Stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the Lit City reports. The second Lit City report that I'm proud to bring to you today is this one. Yeah, man. Eddie Murphy is playing a Sanford and Son movie with Donald Glover. That's right. Eddie Murphy, Donald Glover, two of the most talented dudes in our time period, in our era, is joined together to do a Sanford and Son reboot, but they doing it as a movie. Well, I thought that was so fire. I thought that was right on target. I hope they do Eddie Murphy's makeup really well so he looks more like Red Fox and not like Grady. So, you know what I'm saying? If you guys are Sanford and Son fans, you know Red Fox was a comedian of the highest order. Higher than me. All of the Flip Wilsons, they all, he was, a comedian of beyond reproach. A little dirty, but who wasn't? Peace, Brother Mozzie. And what do you think of the new Sanford and Son reboot, man?
Well,
Big Nothing Burger? Or do you think these two talented men can pull it off?
I think they can pull it off, man. I think they're both quirky enough to kind of make it happen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I like that. I hope they, and also a show, I think a little bit that I read, it doesn't sound like it's going to be something really far out. You know, sometimes. Thanks. Put the other one in the freezer. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good.
It's going to be it's one of the few that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yes, sir.
They're also doing a Netflix starts, I think, in August, a season of The Jeffersons.
Oh, they're going to reboot The Jeffersons again?
Yeah.
Because remember, they did that a couple years ago in honor of the, I don't know if it was the passing of the director that directed Good Times, Archie Bunker, and The Jeffersons. I don't know if it was in relation to him, but they did a reboot, and Tiffany Haddish was in it, and a couple other people.
Oh, okay. I don't remember hearing about those or seeing that one.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think
it was decent. Jamie Foxx, I think, was in it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was decent.
This one is, I'm trying to remember who this one is starring. But the interesting part about it is, what I don't like is he wins the lotto. That's how he moved up.
Okay. So it's not a meritocracy that got him is his fame and fortune. It's winning the lotto. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Sure. I would have liked that. I would have liked that kind of a story for the Everybody Hates Chris franchise. The Pops wins the lotto because he always was a lotto player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like religious about it. Terry Crews. The Julius was the name that he played in the movie, and he played Chris Rock's father, who was like the penny pincher, the super frugal money dude. You couldn't waste an ounce of rice in the house, or he'd be on that ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's funny, and that's how we used to live back in the day, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And the funny thing about it is, it really taught us. It made it easy for us to survive lean times.
Yeah, man. For sure. That plate of beans and rice go a long way, man. That pressure cooker sauce that come out of that pressure cooker.
Yeah, buddy.
That thing do what it do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So that's that's the thing, man. We got to look at some of this stuff sometimes, man, because some of these shows do have some real good nuggets in them.
Yes.
They are entertaining. They're entertaining. They're funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But more importantly, there's some great messages in these shows. And also what I loved about the Chris Rock series was it really said a lot of things that a lot of us have seen, but nobody has ever said.
Yes.
Like how the mom, she was hood rich.
Yeah. My man got 4 jobs. I don't need this job.
Right.
Yeah,
He was hood bougie. You
she
know
could
what I'm
walk
saying?
off jobs because Julius was working like a mule. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
and back in the day, depending on what your dad did or your stepdad did, he probably had at least 2 jobs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the beauty of that show too was that I think a lot of people missed. They own they own their own home.
Yeah, they own their brownstone. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
a beautiful thing because
Yes, it was.
and
Very understated in the show.
very much so.
Yes,
So
sir.
you would think that a guy who owns a building that got tenants, he's making money and he's working 4 jobs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, we in the middle of a lit city report, the wild, the wacky, the wonderful things that make our world go round, which is why we're talking about Sanford and Son and Everybody Hates Chris and all those other good stuff. And we just talked about George Washington Black, which was a docudrama about a engineer scientist from the Bahamas, and that him and his relatives go and found the area of Nova Scotia. And that's very true because the original inhabitants of Nova Scotia were Black people. So this series talks all about that. It's starring Sterling Brown, so he always gives a great show. I think Jeffrey Wright is in it. It got some powerful players in this series. And I already watched
Jeffrey Wright.
Uh-huh.
I just think he's probably. I don't have many. I'm not a big. That's my favorite actor kind of guy.
Yeah.
But if there was a guy, there's 2 people that just as an actor, man, no matter what they were doing, I always just wanted to see the show. One was Raul Julia, and then the other one was Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright. Mine is Juan Carlo Esposito, the brother from School
Yes. Let me throw him on the list.
Yeah, throw another rib on the fire. I feel you. Nah, that brother could put on a man. He could draw you in. Oh, we got a message. All right, what we talking about? Oh, okay. All right. That's a
and you heard a story too, right?
Jeffrey Wright?
How he wasn't getting no work in Hollywood.
Mm.
And he wasn't making the kind of money that he felt he needed to keep his family comfortable and do the things that he said he wanted to do, like, pay for college, all that stuff. So he literally reached a place, man, where he had planned his death.
Oh, wow.
He had a great insurance policy. And if he killed himself, if he would have died, however he would have died, he would have found that his family, the policy that he had was worth millions. And his family would have been taken care of.
Oh my gosh!
And that was he said that was just before, the last couple of shows that he's been on. That's really has propelled him into kind of that statehood, of the entertainment world, but also the kind of monies is the other piece because he's done a lot of roles, but he never really got paid that much for them. You know what I mean?
He's getting a lot of work now. He's in this one joint with Alicio de Toro called The Phoenician Experiment. You ever heard of it?
Yes.
And he plays his tail off in that one. You know what I mean? So go check out George Washington Black. Real great story about the Black founding of Nova Scotia. And I was talking about the Blue Vein Society earlier. I'm not sure if you're hip to it, but it's it came from Europe. And it made its way over to the United States. And it's what the Divine Nine, it's the historical context of how the Divine Nine got the paper bag test.
Well, what's that show called?
It's called the Blue Vein Society. It's not a show. It's an actual club. It's a club that used to exist in the antebellum slavery days. And it was called the Blue Vein Society. And the Divine Nine got their paper bag test from the continuity over time and context and histrionics that developed from the Blue Vein Society. So it's a society of mestizos, mulattoes, formulated in London, transferred all the way to like New Orleans and places like that. The Gullah Geechees.
Yeah, okay, I found it written by Sam Kelly.
Yeah, man, it's dope. Dope. Check that out. So we went through that. And now, in the same vein, I want to show everybody something that's right in Rochester. So, all my Rochester people, if you want to check it out, there's a Black Cinema series going on at the Little. And to headline a Black Cinema series, they have a cult classic called Chameleon Street. You familiar with it, bro?
I am not.
Yeah, you're gonna like this one. So it's a comedy slash drama. So I guess you would call it a satire, right? And it's featuring a brother who has to be a chameleon to gather, stature and sustenance as a brother in the United States, and all the things that they have to go. So I want to get into some existential stuff when this is over. I'm gonna show you the clip, and we'll get into it on the other side. Let me just show you right quick.
But before you go into that, I want to make a comment
Yeah, go
on
ahead.
the Blue Vein Society.
Yeah, go ahead,
Now,
bro.
the interesting part of how, the Blk came about and stuff like that.
Right.
Now, originally, the founding fathers of the Boule were actually Prince Hall Masons.
Yes, sir.
And they were, I don't want to say jealous per se, because Prince Hall Masons of the time were the successful Black people of our time.
Yes.
Some were college educated, some weren't, but they all were very successful financially.
Right.
And so those members were the lighter skinned Black folks who decided they needed to separate themselves out from the rank and file of the regular Prince Hall Masons. So that's how they went and created the Sigma Pi Phi, as
Yes.
well as they also bought into the Talented 10 philosophy.
Yes.
And that was their chance to do that. Now, people don't realize that Greek letter organizations, you were not allowed to be, whether you were college educated or not, and you were in college, and these became college organizations, you still had to pass the paper bag test.
Yes.
And it wasn't until Sigmas came on the scene where they let in a darker skinned Black person.
And nowadays, it's kind of like reins off those sorts of things.
Yes.
They don't have those standards as much anymore. But
when I was a freshman, one of the things that I did notice is Zetas, because and actually also Sigma. Remember, Sigma was the first Greek letter organization that came with a sister organization. So even in their charter, when they created them, those two, they tied themselves. They kind of created themselves together and tied themselves together. It was amazing how when I was on campus, all the Zetas were typically, and we didn't have a lot, but most of them were your darker skinned sisters. A lot of them were heavy Caribbean, African sisters who grew up here in the U.S. that joined the sorority. And it's funny because, and it was the darker skinned ones. And then, of course, the other ones kind of fell in line, Deltas were kind of the rainbow. AKAs pretty much stayed on the lighter side of the rainbow. And, so it's pretty interesting, the whole blue vein thing. And,
absolutely, bro. Hey, let's get into that real quick, and then I'll show you the other clip afterwards. I'll go back to back with it. Let's check this Blue Vein Society clip. It's real fast. Real HD show. Check it out.
Black elites did to each other in the 1880s. Ever heard of the Blue Vein Society? It was a real club, and you could only get in if your skin was light enough to show blue vein.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm having a little issue with the sound on that one, so we won't go to that one. We pretty much explained what the Blue Vein Society was. Anybody who wants to see it can rewind this show earlier, and it was a real long, about 3-minute video that we did on the entire one, and it talked about the origins of colorism and the origins of the paper bag test, because a lot of us don't really know where a lot of those things come from and why they permeate the culture. And but let's look at Chameleon Street, because he's another light skinned brother who's going through it, and his journey through kind of code switching. So we'll talk about that on the other side. Check it out. Come on, Sam, work.
Other people call me William Douglas Street Jr. Born in a log cabin in the backwoods of Kentucky, young Douglas soon elevated himself from field hand to tiger, from tiger to reporter, from reporter to doctor, from doctor to co-ed, from co-ed to attorney, from attorney to congressman. When I meet somebody, I know within the first 2 minutes who they want me to be. I need some money.
He educates himself in jail. He becomes a career criminal. He becomes a lawyer.
I mean, I could sit here and make you think you're a genius for correctly analyzing this complex, exotic, notorious Negro.
You know that the white man runs this world? I'm a victim of 400 years of conditioning.
Your credentials are just too amazing to believe. What would you concoct such an essential, low-down lie?
I wanted to get the money.
And the thing that I wanted
Open your mouth.
to mention about this particular one is, so now we've seen a little bit of it. Go check out the Chameleon Street. Is, when I saw the movie and after I was done and I was reflecting on it, bro, I was reflecting on the fact, and I don't know why I'm not getting any sound on these videos. I'll check on that in a second, because that can't really help the show. But they have a thing where why do that it was so reminiscent, bro, of what a lot of people are dealing with right now. This get the bag mentality. You know what I'm saying? That people have out here. Instead of getting a craft, mastering it, apprenticing somebody in that particular craft that you mastered and moving those things along in those ways. Everybody wants to be everything to everybody and get involved with everything. And we got half-assed attempts at really developing wealth throughout the country. And this brother spends various periods of his adult life being arrested for impersonating. He reminded me of like Frank Abagnale, bro. Catch me if you can.
Yes.
Oh, wow, I can't even hear you. Okay. So let me do this. Stay with me, y'all. I'm going to reset the show. Just stay on for a second. I'm going to reset the show. I'm going to play that clip of Chameleon Street once more. I'm going to reset the show on my own computer. And hopefully when I reset it, it'll come back and I'll be able to join you on the other side. Check this out. Check out Chameleon Street. It won't be any sound, but at least you can see it, because I think everybody needs to see it. I was hoping Spike Lee would grab this movie and make something of it. But here it is, while I reset everything on my office end. Here we go.
Other people call me William Douglas Street Jr. Born in a log cabin in the backwoods of Kentucky.
Hey, peace, bro. Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me okay?
Oh man, I can't hear you. All right, let me see something.
Testing, testing.
How now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you.
Let
That's
me go out and come back
bad.
in.
Let's see. Were you able? Oh, dang. Okay, I cannot hear what's going on. Okay. Yeah, I think he's gonna go out and come back. I hope you guys can hear me. If anybody's on right now and they can hear me, can you put like a one in the chat or give me a signal that you can hear the show? That'd be great. Give me just a little feedback on that. That'd be appreciated.
How we sound now?
Oh man, nah, I can't hear you.
Uh,
And I reset the computer and everything.
Hold on, let me just make sure. Let's try that one more time.
Because I'm registering it. I'm getting. Hold on, let me see something. Let me see if my Bluetooth is on.
Testing.
What about now?
Testing. 1, 2.
No. Still can't hear you. Bluetooth is off. Jeez Louise, come on. I'm gonna try to play something else and see if I can get some sound coming through. This is not typical.
Testing. How do I sound now?
Ever heard of the Blue Vein Society? It was a real club, and you could only get in if your skin was light enough to show blue veins.
What's going on?
That's right. Black people using skin tone to decide who was better. It sounds unreal, but it happened. And it wasn't just about clubs. It determined who could go to church, school,
I don't know
or
if
even
you
get
guys
married.
can see.
Want the
There's a
full
sound
story?
bar on
The
bottom.
truth will shock you.
It's all the way over.
Watch the full video. Trust me, you've never heard history told like this.
Let me go test something. I'll let this run. This is another.
You hear it okay?
In society. I'll let this run. And while this is running, I'll look at some. I'll
Did
look
to
at
each other
something backstage.
in the 1880s. Ever heard of the Blue Vein Society? It was a real club, and you could only get in if your skin was light enough to show blue veins. That's right. Black people using skin tone to decide who was better. It sounds unreal, but it happened. And it wasn't just about clubs. It determined who could go to church, school, or even get married. Want the full story? The truth will shock you. Watch the full video. Trust me, you've never heard history told like this.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
I
now?
know. Well, I don't know if that's the case.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Still working out these sound issues, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a moment, family. Let me try to see what I can see. Let me go into the audio and see what's cracking. Two. 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2.
Not getting it done either.
1 2 1 2.
Let's see if I can. Nothing. You hear this music? Oh, you hear the music? Wow. So why can't I hear you? All right. Let me go into my sound
Good
real
question.
quick. Let me see. see if it's something going on with my system preferences. I'm not getting any output. Let's see. One, two, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2.
Output.
Mic check 1. Mic check 2.
So what's in my headphones?
My mic sounds nice. My mic sounds nice. My mic sounds nice.
Let me try. Let me see if I can put my headphones on, if that will alleviate the situation. So you can hear me, I can't hear you.
Yep.
And might be something or other related to headphones. Okay, let's try. Okay, you must mean you must hear it. And I'm getting any sound on my end. Ridiculous. Give me one. One, two, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Can you hear me, bro? Can you give me a mic check?
1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2.
In the caption, I can see your language, but I am not getting any audio back to me.
Maybe nobody really want to hear what I got to say.
One, two. Sorry about the wait, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in a second. On the sound here. Oh. On. Wow. This never happened. Don't get this. Try to start it over one last time. Stay on. Ozzy, can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I still can't hear you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to shut it. I'm gonna shut the show down for now, because I can't hear a word you're saying. All I can do is read you through the CC. So I'm gonna shut the show down for now. And what I'll do is maybe tomorrow or Friday do a part 2 to this very show, so we can get into the meat and potatoes of what we were going to discuss tonight, because the world needs to know, and I'll get to the bottom of this. It has something to do. I'm getting some like headphone interference in my output for the computer, which is probably preventing me from hearing, especially if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. So I'll work on that, and I'll let you guys know if on Friday I'm going to do a part 2 to this particular show to kind of get it in. And I will see you guys on the other side. Peace and walk with power. Love y'all. Stick with us.